Alright, I'm back. I'm making another video. I wanted to share a thought that I had recently pertaining to the coronavirus and the lockdown. But it's about driving. This is a driving video. Now, I drive for a living, and the roads have been considerably less crowded. There are less vehicles on the road. And that makes driving, in some respects, easier. But unfortunately, the number of people that are still on the road don't seem to be taking that opportunity to not feel so rushed or to drive in what I would consider a safer manner. Instead, and if anything, they feel that because there's less vehicles on the road, they want to drive faster, and safety is less of an issue in some regard to most people that I see driving. And to me, that is a problem, because we are getting ready here in the United States to start lifting the lockdown, maybe not everywhere and maybe not completely, but at least in some areas, and that means more people will be on the road. Now, you haven't had as many people driving for about a month now. And all of a sudden, even though people that are driving seem to be driving in a much more reckless manner, all of a sudden the roads are going to start filling up again. Now, let's think about that. What causes accidents? Well, I can tell you without hesitation that 3 things cause accidents: driving too fast, following too close, and not paying attention. Now, let's deal with the first one, driving too fast. At 60 miles an hour, I want you to think about this. At 60 miles an hour on an interstate, in good weather, dry pavement, no distractions, give or take, you should have approximately 5 lengths of the vehicle you are driving in distance between you and the vehicle you are following. Now, I drive a truck, and it's somewhere between 65 and 70 feet long, but let's say 65. Now, what's 5 times 65? It's 325. It's 325 feet minimum that I should have between me and the vehicle in front of me. Think about that. That's a football field with both end zones. That's the distance it takes me to safely come to a stop from 60 miles an hour on dry pavement, if I'm paying attention and react right away. So, when you think about the speed that you're going, and you think about the distance you are behind the vehicle in front of you, let's also take this into account. At 60 miles an hour, you go 90 feet. It's actually 88, give or take. But let's just round it to 90 and make it simple. You go 90 feet per second. Now, the average four-wheel vehicle, car, pickup, is about 12 and a half feet long. Some are much smaller. You do have subcompact vehicles now. And some are a little bit longer. It depends on the vehicle. But the average vehicle is about 12 and a half feet. Now let's just round that to 13. You're supposed to have 5 vehicle lengths of distance between you and the vehicle in front of you as a minimum. Now what's 5 times 13? That's 65 feet. That means that even if you have 5 vehicle lengths between you and the vehicle in front of you, that's only 65 feet. In 1 second, you go farther than that. So if you have to come to an emergency stop and you're not paying attention, let's say you're looking out the window because somebody drove by, or you're checking your mirror, or your phone rang so you look down at your phone, or heck, maybe you're holding your phone, talking on it, look down to text, making a phone call. Let's say you're looking at a billboard, you're paying attention to a sign, you're checking your GPS, you're turning up your volume. 1 second, you just went 90 feet. That's more than 5 vehicle lengths for the average vehicle. That means if they came to a complete stop and you didn't, you just drove into them. Now, we got people on the road right now that are not behaving in a safe manner. We got people that haven't driven in a while. They're stir crazy. They got cabin fever. They want to get out and do stuff. And they're going to be in a hurry. They're going to want to go somewhere. They got to get where they want to be. They're in a rush because they've been cooped up and they want to do stuff. They're not going to be paying attention. They're not going to care about what somebody else is doing. So we're going to unlock the country. We're going to come out of our lockdown. And we're going to have a whole lot of people that have no interest in paying attention, that aren't going to drive safe, flooding the highways when everybody on there is already going too fast and not driving in a safe manner to begin with. And I'm not just talking about smaller vehicles. I'm not talking about 4-wheel vehicles, which, by the way, a big truck driver that has 18 wheels has a tendency to call the smaller vehicles 4-wheelers because they typically have 4 wheels. It's how you differentiate between, say, for example, a big truck and a small truck. Well, the 4-wheelers do this and do that. Or the 18-wheelers do this or do that. But we're going to flood our roads with drivers and they're not going to be paying attention, and we're going to have a problem. And driving is one of the biggest communal activities we engage in. I say this over and over. And if you don't know what that means, let's go through it. Communal means community. That means it's a group-based activity. It's not just you. But way too many drivers only care about what they want and what they're doing. And if you're not paying attention and you're going 60 miles an hour and it only takes you 1 second to go 90 feet and nobody cares, think about the death and the damage and destruction you can cause in less than a second. Because I'm telling you, it's coming. We're coming out of lockdown, and people are going to want to get where they're going, and they're going to want to do all kinds of things, and they're not going to care. They're going to want to get there fast. Doesn't even matter what they're going to do. They haven't been able to do it in a month, and they're going nuts. Nobody's going to be paying attention. So somebody somewhere has to be aware of this and try to be a little bit more proactive in being safe. Now, the company that I drive for, they want me to have 8 seconds of following distance between me and the vehicle in front of me. Now, I want you to think about that for a second. 8 seconds of following distance. I can go 90 feet per second at 60 miles an hour. What's 8 times 90? Let's do the math. It's 720 feet. How many people can even conceive of what 720 feet is? If I get 300 feet between me and the vehicle in front of me, I consider it a good day because everybody that's passing me cuts in between me and the vehicle that I'm following. And that's less than the distance my company recommends that I have. And people are still cutting in that safe distance, which isn't even what's recommended. It's half of what's recommended. But they're cutting it in half again. People don't think, they don't pay attention, they don't understand. I've got a 65-foot vehicle. It takes me a football field to stop. That's 325 feet. And people want to pull in front of me less than 100 feet and slow down because they got to take an exit. I'm an 80,000-pound vehicle going down the road at 60 miles an hour. You want to pull in front of me at less than 100 feet and you want to slow down? You better be hoping that I'm paying attention, because my back wheels of my trailer are going to be where your steering wheel is if I'm not. That's a public service announcement. People better start paying attention on the roads, because if you don't, deaths from coronavirus are going to be nothing compared to the deaths and the mayhem on the road when we come out of lockdown. This is a serious issue. And if you don't pay attention and drive safe when you're on the road, you're going to kill people. And there's a world of difference between saying we might catch a virus and saying you killed somebody. Practice social distancing. Don't just do it with people. Give yourself safe distance between you and the people in front of you, and give yourself safe distance when you cut over in front of someone else. If you can't see a significant portion of the road between you and the vehicle you want to merge in front of, don't merge yet. You're way too close. Don't take the risk. Slow down just a little bit. I know a lot of people are angry. I know this coronavirus has made a lot of people stir crazy. I get it. I understand it. But let's not make things worse when we come out of our lockdown by making the roads a slaughterhouse. Because it's going to happen if we're not careful. I'm telling you. And I hope people listen. I hope people hear this. We need to care about each other, and we need to be a little safe. When I say drive a safe speed, I don't mean do the speed limit. I mean drive a speed that is appropriate for the conditions, which includes weather. It includes traffic. How many other vehicles are on the road? It includes road condition and road status. Are you in a work zone? Are you in a residential zone? Are there lots of other vehicles? Is it clear? Is the sun in your eyes? Is it raining? Is it snowing? How's the visibility? If you're behind a big truck and you can't see around it, you have no idea what's going on up there. If his brake lights come on, you don't know if he's stopping or just slowing down. How are you going to react if you have no idea why he's doing what he's doing? If you can't see, you better slow down. And if you want to get somewhere, think about what the potential could be for you or somebody else just because you don't care about being safe. I know we've all heard the story and the rhetoric and the constant social distancing and let's not spread the virus. But there's a lot more to worry about than just the virus. Social distancing mattered, and it still does. And it matters on the road, too. Not because you're going to catch a virus, but because you can kill somebody or you can be killed. Be safe. Think about what you're doing. 90 feet in 1 second at 60 miles an hour. Think about what 90 feet is. It's more than 5 car lengths. Thanks. Be safe.